There comes a time in every man's life when the silence gets louder, the birthdays get quieter, the texts become fewer, and he finds himself walking alone, not because he has to, but because he chooses to. Society tells him he's behind, that he's wasting time, that something must be wrong with him. But what if the longer a man is single, the more he awakens to something deeper, something few ever talk about? This isn't loneliness. This is transformation. He isn't chasing noise. He's choosing peace. He's not unloved. He's unshaken. In the space where others fear isolation, he finds himself. He studies his thoughts. He sharpens his vision. He becomes a fortress, not a follower. In today's world, where validation is sold in likes and swipes, a man who stands alone, truly alone, isn't broken. He's becoming dangerous. He's becoming stoic. So why does time alone refine him rather than ruin him? Why do the years of solitude breed power instead of pain? In this video, we uncover the 5 powerful truths that reveal why the longer a man is single, the more dangerous, disciplined, and unshakable he becomes. Stay with me. This might just explain everything you've been feeling lately. Number 1, the longer he's single, the more he masters his mind. When a man is single for a long time, he isn't just avoiding romance. He's entering a mental battleground. And in that silence, he learns to master his thoughts. No distractions, no external validation. Just him and his inner world. Most men fear being alone because they've never been forced to confront their own mind. But solitude forces a man to face his demons, his patterns, his trauma. There are no masks left. No one to impress, no one to pretend for. That's where real strength is forged. A Stoic understands that the external world is uncontrollable, but the internal world, that's his domain. And the longer he remains single, the more he trains himself to not react emotionally to things outside of his control. He learns discipline over desire, focus over fantasy. Imagine this. While others jump from relationship to relationship, constantly seeking something or someone to fix them, the single man refines his thoughts. He rewrites his values. He questions the world. He reads. He reflects. He builds himself from within. This psychological fortification makes him emotionally untouchable. He no longer needs attention. He commands respect. And ironically, when he's finally ready for a relationship, he brings something few others can. A mind that is not a prison, but a weapon. Number 2, the longer he's single, the sharper his vision becomes. A man without distraction becomes a man with clarity. While most people are lost in the fog of modern dating, confused, addicted, unsettled, the single man who embraces solitude begins to see through it all. Every late night he spends alone becomes an opportunity to reflect, to build, to plan. He doesn't live for the weekend. He isn't driven by lust or loneliness. He becomes a man who lives by intention, not impulse. His goals become clearer, his boundaries become stronger, his time becomes sacred. This isn't about avoiding women, it's about no longer being consumed by the idea of needing one. And that gives him a strategic edge. He studies people. He listens more than he speaks. He notices red flags others ignore because they're blinded by desire. He chooses with discernment, not desperation. Psychologically, when a man removes the constant chase for approval, his prefrontal cortex, the seat of rational decision-making, starts to dominate. He stops acting like a boy. He becomes a man with a mission, and you can see it in his eyes. Calm, focused, not hunting, but watching. He isn't seduced by chaos. He seeks alignment. He doesn't follow trends. He creates his path. The longer he's single, the more he sees the world not as it pretends to be, but as it truly is. Number 3, the longer he's single, the stronger his standards become. In the beginning, a man might be tempted by anything with a pretty face and a soft voice. But time alone, that's the filter. That's where weak desires die and true values are born. A man who's been single long enough begins to realize that beauty without character is just noise. That excitement without emotional depth is just a sugar high. And that chemistry without compatibility is a slow death. He starts to ask different questions. Not is she hot, but is she honest? Not does she like me, but can I build with her? And he stops settling. Because being single has taught him that peace is better than fake companionship, that a clean home and a clear mind are better than constant fights and emotional roller coasters. Psychologically, this is the evolution of self-worth. He no longer tolerates what doesn't align with his mission. He doesn't fear missing out. He fears wasting time. And ironically, this is when women start to chase him, because nothing is more attractive than a man who doesn't need you, but chooses you with purpose. He becomes selective, not bitter, patient, not passive. He knows what he wants, and he refuses to apologize for it. His standards are high because he has spent time becoming high value himself. Number 4. The longer he's single, the more he becomes whole. Most people get into relationships to avoid feeling empty, but a Stoic man knows no one can complete you. The longer he's single, the more he realizes that happiness was never found in someone else. It was always buried inside him. This is where healing happens. This is where he reconnects with his inner child, repairs his wounds, and starts to enjoy his own company. He learns to take himself on dates, to build his body, his business, his soul. He realizes that every moment of solitude is an opportunity to build a life so full that no one else is needed to validate it. And in that wholeness, he becomes dangerous. Because you can't manipulate a man who has nothing missing inside. You can't bait him with lust. You can't trap him with neediness. He becomes sovereign. This psychological self-completion is what makes him different. He isn't half a person looking for another half. He is whole. And from that strength, he seeks connection, not codependence. The longer he's single, the more he becomes the kind of man women want, but only a rare few can handle. Because he's not looking for a distraction, he's looking for a partner in power. Number 5. The longer he's single, the more he transcends weak masculinity. We live in a world where masculinity is confused with aggression, dominance, or chasing women like trophies. But true masculinity, it's silent, focused, and unshakable. And the longer a man is single, the more he breaks free from society's shallow scripts of manhood. He stops measuring his worth by how many women want him. He starts measuring it by how aligned he is with his purpose. He reads Marcus Aurelius. He listens to silence. He trains. He builds. He leads himself. He learns that masculine energy is not loud. It's grounded. This man is not easily provoked. He doesn't seek fights. He doesn't need to prove anything. He is not reactive. He is resilient. Psychologically, he learns the value of emotional control. Stoicism becomes his superpower. He feels deeply but doesn't act impulsively. He suffers in silence and grows from it. He is no longer a boy in a man's body. He is the real thing. Women sense it, men respect it, and the world responds to it. The longer he's single, the more he disconnects from weak masculinity and steps into the kind of powerful, responsible, intentional manhood that builds legacies, not just relationships. Conclusion. So why does the world misunderstand the single man? Because they don't see what he's building. They don't see the silent battles he's winning. They don't see the strength forged in solitude. The longer he's single, the more he transforms, not into someone lonely, but someone legendary. He's not avoiding life. He's designing it. He's not waiting, he's working. And when the time comes, he will not be entering a relationship out of need, but out of overflow. This is the Stoic path. This is the higher road. And if you're walking it right now, don't doubt yourself. You're not falling behind. You're getting ahead in ways most people will never understand. So if this resonated with you, like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with a man who needs to be reminded of his power. Let them know solitude is not a weakness. It's preparation for greatness. The longer you're single, the more you're becoming unstoppable. Until next time, stay grounded, stay rising, and walk your path like a king.